This has to do with how customers find the contractors who they work with through Google. It's going to depend on where you're listed and where you're showing. If you're up here in the ads section, you're going to get 10 to 15% of the visitors that are clicking on a link. The Google Business Profile, Google Maps section gets anywhere from 50 to 70% of all viewers. A lot of people skip ads. These are the first things they see. And then the remaining 20 to 30% will click on, I'd say, the top 5, 6 website results. It might look like you're ranking well on here, but that's because when you type in terms like this, Glassboro, Google is dropping a pin on Google Maps. And depending on where they drop that pin, it shows your listing. One of the ways you have to think of these listings is almost like an antenna. And same with your competitors' antennas. Depending on where they're listed and how their amplification is with that antenna, their search radius is where they're going to be searched and seen. So I'm going to show you this really cool tool. It's called a heat map. And this is actually looking at one of your competitors. So this is Concrete Pros of South Jersey. This is where they're showing up for the term concrete contractor. They're going all throughout Glassboro and a lot of the surrounding areas. We have to scroll down a bit to find your listing. All these people, these are all people who are ranking above you in terms of that map. That covers 170 square miles. Here you are, Solid Design. And this is how you're performing for the term concrete contractor. It's not even going all across Glassboro. For another term, concrete driveway contractor, again, this is for Concrete Pros of South Jersey. This is how they're performing. So they're getting a lot of calls through Google because of what they've done for their map listing. And for you, what I would call actionable steps that you can start taking, Pete, it's going to be adding more pictures, adding more posts, and getting more reviews. You'll have to figure out a creative way to do that, but that's what I can tell you in terms of how to help increase your rankings with actionable steps that you can do. Because again, with concrete driveway contractor, you're doing a little better than the other term with just concrete contractor, but still, it's just barely over Glassboro, let alone if we're talking about going up to Cherry Hill or out to Vineland. Now, one of the properties that we work on, this is out in Tennessee. This map is just over 1,000 square miles, and this is for the term concrete contractor. They're actually covering their entire county. And one of the things that I wanted to show you here is because of size reference. So this town that's out in Tennessee has about 45,000 people, and they are getting, this was just last month, if you see up here, March 1st through March 31st, there's 41 unique callers, so some repeats, maybe there was a market or two, who knows, you can't keep them out. But it was over 40 calls in a town of 45,000 people because of being able to be ranked and searched and seen as #1 on maps. Remember that Memphis concrete contractor that I was telling you about? This was last month out in March. They had 186 calls exclusively to them, 125 unique callers. Again, let's just say if some of these are marketers, who knows what, I always take off about a third. That's still 80 people looking to schedule estimates. And it's a lot of that residential flat work. And these are coming through some of those lead generation properties as well to get the phone ringing. For you, if you were going to expand with lead generation, one of the markets that you had talked about was in Cherry Hill. I don't think this is the best course of action for you starting out. This is actually pretty competitive. These listings are pretty good. It's going to take some time. I would highly recommend looking down in Vineland because there's over 60,000 people. I mean, maybe you know them. I mean, I hope you know the market better than I do, right? But 60,000 people, 2 of the 3 people don't have websites. If you were going to get a lead generation website, a companion site up in this area to also start boosting calls, this is going to be the place to do that. But if we're talking about having to go and optimize this entire profile, you've done a lot of really good things with it, which is what I encourage you to keep doing. Again, just being active, getting more reviews, adding more pictures, making posts. Those are the best actionable steps you can be doing with this profile. Or also too on Facebook, there's a lot of Facebook groups that you can join. So say Cherry Hill, New Jersey, right? You can join these groups and start posting your business. You have a lot of really good pictures on your Facebook page. Start advocating for yourself. Now that's going to be a time investment. I know it's not necessarily what we want to do, but in terms of my price point, my price range, it was pretty spot on for having to go and build out an entire website, optimizing the profile, If we're adding a companion site, a companion listing to get additional jobs, be it in Vineland or maybe a different market that's out near you, that's going to be $1,500 a month. So hopefully this video is really helpful to give you a direction in terms of where to at least start going or comparing what we have to offer with some of the other marketers that were out there. And obviously all it comes down to, what matters the most, is what's going to be best for you in your business in terms of growing and making money. So I really do hope that this helps.